All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to look at a really cool experiment that explores a pretty simple but powerful question. What would happen if you gave an AI coding assistant a permanent memory? What if it could actually learn while it works with you? I mean, really think about that for a second. How many times have you been working with an AI tool and you have to feed it the same information over and over and over again? It's honestly one of the biggest frustrations. But what if it didn't have to be like that? What if your AI could actually remember your preferences, your project's entire architecture, and everything it learned from your past conversations? And that gets us right to the heart of the problem, what I like to call the forgetful assistant. You see, right now, even the smartest, most powerful AI tools out there have this kind of digital amnesia. They're what we call stateless, which is a fancy way of saying that as soon as your chat window closes, poof, all that valuable context and learning is just gone. Yeah, this slide here really nails down what that forgetfulness looks like in practice. If you want to teach these AIs something new, you have to go in and manually edit files. And their knowledge, it's all stored in these separate little boxes, so they can't connect the dots between ideas. Their search, it's pretty basic, just keywords or file names. And the biggest one, they just can't learn and get better as you work with them session after session. So, okay, what's the solution then? Well, it's a wonderfully simple but powerful idea. You give the AI a brain. This whole experiment is about connecting the AI to a permanent, structured memory that it can not only read from, but also write to. And that brain has a name. It's a system called Graphiti. Now, this is not just another database, it's a knowledge graph. And that right there is the key difference. See, it doesn't just store random facts in isolation. It actually stores the relationships between them. It understands how concepts connect to each other, which, as you're about to see, is a total game changer. Just a quick but really important heads up here. The original material is super clear that this is an experiment. We're exploring what's possible, not looking at some polished product you can just go and download today. This is all about peeking into the future of development. Okay, this is where things get really exciting. This is the breakthrough moment, moving way beyond a simple keyword search. See, this experiment takes a common technique called Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RAG, you've probably heard of it, where an AI pulls info from a database and it kicks it up a notch to something way smarter, graph RAG. And wow, this slide just shows it all perfectly. If you ask a normal AI about Avalara text calculation, you'll get back some documents that just happen to have those words in them. It's okay, but it's pretty flat. But look at the difference with GraphRag. It gives you the whole story. It tells you Avalara is part of the tax domain, what it handles, its fallback behavior, key compliance calls, and even the exact command to run the tests. That's not just information, that's actionable intelligence. So here's the bottom line. It's not about just finding text that matches. It's about understanding context. GraphRag gets how all the pieces connect, and because of that, it can give you answers that are so much more intelligent and genuinely useful when you're in the middle of coding. So how does this all actually work under the hood? Let's take a look at the memory agent. Now, it might sound super complex, but the whole process is actually pretty elegant. It all comes down to a special little agent that manages the AI's memory. It really boils down to two main steps. First up is knowledge initialization. Basically, you take all your existing documentation and you feed it into this system, and Graphiti organizes it all into that structured brain. Then comes the magic part, proactive retrieval. Before the AI even starts on your request, a little subagent goes and searches that brain for anything that might be relevant. It actually thinks before it acts. So let's properly meet this little subagent. It's called the graphiti-knowledge-manager, and the best way to think of it is like a super diligent research assistant. Its entire job is to proactively hunt for existing knowledge, capture new info as you work, and just make sure everything stays consistent. Let's see it in action. A developer asks a simple, natural question, just like you'd ask a senior engineer on your team. Hey, tell me about Avalara. And boom, the response is just incredible. The agent comes back with this complete overview. It covers the architecture, the integration details, compliance rules, testing commands. It even identifies the high-level design patterns being used in the code. I mean, this is the kind of deep contextual knowledge that usually takes a new developer weeks to figure out, and it gets it in seconds. So what's the big payoff here? What does all this get you? Well, it's all about turning the AI into a true learning partner. This experiment really changes the whole relationship. You're moving from a forgetful tool to an active, helpful collaborator. Let's just run through these benefits because they're huge. First, onboarding gets so much faster. New team members can just ask the AI questions and get up to speed in no time. Second, it helps enforce consistent coding practices, which means cleaner code and fewer bugs. The knowledge base itself actually evolves and gets smarter with every single interaction. And finally, the help you get is context-aware. The right info just pops up when you need it, which could save you hours of digging through docs. You know, this quote from the source material just says it all perfectly. This approach transforms the AI from a stateless assistant into a genuine learning partner, one that actually remembers your preferences, your team's procedures, and your project-specific domain knowledge. So we'll end on this thought. Even though this is still an experiment, it paints a really, really compelling picture of what's coming. Are we looking at a brand new era of software development? One where our most important tool isn't just a tool at all, but an AI that actively learns and grows right alongside us? As a true partner? It's definitely something to think about.